In 1947, British rule in India ended. The Indian subcontinent was divided into two independent nations, India and Pakistan. This partition was based on religion. India was for Hindus and Pakistan was for Muslims. The partition led to mass migration. Millions of Hindus and Muslims moved to their new countries. This movement was chaotic and violent. Many people were killed in the process. The partition also created a dispute over the region of Kashmir. Both India and Pakistan claimed Kashmir. This dispute would become the heart of the conflict between the two countries. The partition left a legacy of pain and mistrust. It also created the conditions for future conflicts between India and Pakistan. The First War between India and Pakistan erupted in 1947. The war was fought over control of Kashmir. Both countries claimed the region. The war began when tribesmen from Pakistan invaded Kashmir. They aimed to overthrow the Hindu ruler who had joined India. India sent troops to support the ruler. The fighting lasted for over a year. It ended with a ceasefire brokered by the United Nations. The ceasefire divided Kashmir. India controlled the majority of the region. The war solidified the division of Kashmir. It also deepened the mistrust between India and Pakistan. The Kashmir issue would continue to be a source of conflict. In 1965, India and Pakistan fought a second war. This war was also sparked by the Kashmir dispute. Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar. Operation Gibraltar was a plan to infiltrate Kashmir and incite an uprising against Indian rule. India responded with a full-scale military attack on Pakistan. The war lasted for 17 days. It involved large-scale tank battles. It ended in a stalemate. The Soviet Union mediated a ceasefire. The 1965 war further escalated tensions. It showed that the Kashmir issue remained a flashpoint. It also highlighted the dangers of military escalation. In 1971, East Pakistan revolted against West Pakistan. East Pakistan sought independence. India supported the Bengali people in East Pakistan. Pakistan launched a military crackdown in East Pakistan. This led to a humanitarian crisis. Millions of refugees fled to India. India intervened militarily on behalf of East Pakistan. The war ended with the defeat of Pakistan. East Pakistan became the independent nation of Bangladesh. The war had a profound impact on the regional balance of power. The 1971 war was a major turning point. It led to the creation of Bangladesh. It also further strained relations between India and Pakistan. Section 5. High stakes in the mountains, the Kargil War, 1999. In 1999, Pakistani forces infiltrated Indian-controlled territory in Kargil. This region is located in the Himalayas. The infiltration sparked a conflict known as the Kargil War. Pakistan's goal was to cut off Indian supply lines to Siachen Glacier. India launched a military operation to evict the Pakistani forces. The fighting took place in high-altitude, mountainous terrain. The Kargil War lasted for over 2 months. It involved heavy artillery exchanges and aerial combat. Pakistan eventually withdrew its forces under international pressure. The Kargil War was a dangerous escalation. It demonstrated the risks of miscalculation. It also highlighted the volatile nature of the line of control in Kashmir. Section 6. Kashmir, the heart of the conflict. The Kashmir conflict remains the most contentious issue between India and Pakistan. Both countries claim the region in its entirety. The dispute has its roots in the 1947 partition. India controls the majority of Kashmir. Pakistan controls a smaller portion. The line of control, or LOC, divides the two sides. The LOC is heavily militarized. Kashmir is a Muslim majority region. There is a separatist movement in Indian-controlled Kashmir. India accuses Pakistan of supporting the insurgency. The Kashmir conflict is a complex and multifaceted issue. It involves historical grievances, political disputes, and human rights concerns. There is no easy solution to the conflict. Section 7. The Nuclear Shadow, a dangerous game. India and Pakistan are both nuclear-armed states. They conducted nuclear tests in 1998. The nuclearization of South Asia has added a dangerous dimension to the conflict. The risk of nuclear war is a constant concern. Both countries have developed nuclear doctrines. These doctrines outline the circumstances under which they might use nuclear weapons. The international community has urged India and Pakistan to engage in nuclear dialogue. The goal is to reduce the risk of accidental or intentional nuclear war. The nuclear shadow hangs over the India-Pakistan conflict. It is a reminder of the potential for catastrophic consequences. Section 8. Recent violence, a cycle of unrest. The line of control in Kashmir remains volatile. There are frequent ceasefire violations. Both sides accuse each other of firing across the line of control. In recent years, there has been an increase in cross-border shelling. This has resulted in civilian casualties and damage to property. The violence has led to fear and displacement. Militant groups operate in the region. They have carried out attacks on both Indian and Pakistani security forces. The situation remains tense and unpredictable. The recent violence underscores the fragility of the situation. It is a reminder that the conflict is far from over. Section 9. A fragile peace, the ceasefire and its challenges. India and Pakistan agreed to a ceasefire along the line of control in 2003. The ceasefire has largely held, however, it remains fragile. There are frequent violations. Maintaining the ceasefire is crucial. It is a prerequisite for any meaningful dialogue. Both sides need to exercise restraint. Confidence-building measures are essential. These can include increased communication and cross-line of control cooperation. The ceasefire is a fragile but important step. It provides a foundation for building peace. Section 10. A hope for the future, dialogue and diplomacy. The India-Pakistan conflict has had a devastating impact on the region. It has claimed countless lives and hindered economic development. Peace is essential. Dialogue and diplomacy are the only way forward. Both sides need to engage in meaningful talks. They need to address the underlying issues. The international community has a role to play. It can encourage dialogue and provide support. A peaceful resolution is in the best interests of all. The future of India and Pakistan depends on peace. It is time to end the cycle of conflict. It is time to build a future of cooperation and prosperity.